If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. These shows are always funny to do. The wrestlers, the WWE guys, who just continue to sell their souls. More of them just exposing themselves through their names that they call themselves, the things they talk about on the microphone, the clothing they wear, and the tattoo markings on their body, which are all things that you should look for when you're trying to see or, expose these people for who they really are. Now, it's funny because the wrestling fans are some of the strangest people that you'll ever meet. Now, look, I mean, a lot of us grew up watching wrestling in the 80s and stuff like that. Obviously, when you wake up and all this stuff, you see how ridiculous the nonsense is. But wrestling fans are like really loyal. So they do. I get a lot of people who make videos about me when I hurt their favorite wrestlers' feelings, which is just really sad state of affairs. But I'm going to show you two very unbelievable gimmicks going on, in addition to the ones I recently exposed was the Bray Wyatt character, showing the pyramid, showing the Freemasonic compass. The character itself is a demon, which is just unreal. I've talked about all the stuff they've got, right? They got Demon Finn Balor. Brock Lesnar refers to himself as the Beast incarnate, the Beast. There's an Aleister Crowley character based off of Aleister Crowley. His name's Aleister Black. They have, Kane and The Undertaker. Triple H, the main guy, the COO of the company, calls himself the King of Kings. So there's biblical references. And now you have, and I'm going to get into this guy Batista in a minute. Make sure you stick around because you got to see these tattoos on his body and some of the things he's been involved in, that he's got his hand pretty much caught in the cookie jar. But now you got this guy I've covered before, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is one of the guys that they push, they try to make like into a star. He doesn't really generate much of a fan reaction. I think they tried to make him popular and people just were booing and bored because he's just not over, not good with the fans. But of course they'll continue to push him because he's a Satanist and he openly wears the Black Craft cult outfits, right? If you see pictures of him where he's got the Baphomet on his hoodie, the pentagram on his shirt. He supports this website, Black Craft Cult, which I've exposed before, which sells nothing but, satanic memorabilia, and stuff praising Satan and making fun of Jesus. Well, now he's referring to himself as the Monday Night Messiah. That's in reference, I guess, to the show Monday Night Raw. He's saying he's the Monday Night Messiah. And he even takes the gimmick so far as to call the people who follow him, because he's got like a gang or a stable, his disciples. So you get more biblical references, more mocking of Jesus. You can see the stupid t-shirts and merchandise that they sell. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're always referencing all of this stuff that's going on in wrestling now. And you can see why. Vince McMahon went from almost going out of business in the late 90s to being a billionaire, having a public stock that somehow is worth almost, last I checked, was somewhere in the $70, $80, $90, $100 a share range for pro wrestling. The ratings have never been worse. Less and less people watch it. They have the worst ratings they've ever had. And that goes back to days where they had, characters who were garbage men, ridiculous fictional characters, which was actually way better because it was funny at least. Yet WWE signs, a $1 billion deal with Fox. Fox promoting the Messiah character. Fox promoting the Fiend character, right? It's national, even though the company itself isn't doing good. They just boost the stock and all stuff. That's because Vince McMahon made his sacrifices. We all know and seen all the creepy mystery around wrestling where these people just have all these accidents and die at such a young age. You think that's a coincidence? And there's never been anything on Vince McMahon, no investigations into any wrongdoings, right? They just pay it off. All the money they make is people's investment money. Vince McMahon is just starting a football league, is being promoted on ESPN. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? So you have the Monday Night Messiah. This is even more unbelievable. This guy, Bautista, Dave Batista, I guess he transitioned from wrestling into an actor. He's an actor now. He's in some nerd movie, Guardian of the Galaxy. I don't know how anybody could sit through this crap. and he was in a James Bond film. And look at the new tattoo that this guy's sporting so proudly right on his chest. No, it's not a coincidence, right? And he says, I've officially crossed the line. Oh, well, I gotta be me. Right? Hashtag dream chaser. And what has he got? He's got the pyramid, the all-seeing eye right in the middle of his chest, inside of what looks like a sun with sun worship. But hey, it's a coincidence, right? He saw the Taco Bell commercial and was like, I'd really like to get that. Or he opened his wallet and saw a dollar bill and was like, I love pyramids and eyeballs. I want to get it too. These people reveal themselves all the time through their markings. And wait till you see some of these other ones and his connection to this guy in Hollywood, James Gunn, which if you're in the truth community, you've been doing this a while or listening for a while, you're familiar with this James Gunn guy who's the director of the Guardian of the Galaxy movies and some of the things that he was tweeting out. And it's just really sick. But look at some of the other tattoos on him. The basic ones I point out, the stars, right? He just happens to be a huge fan of the Dallas Cowboys too. You see the 3 stars in succession. Why do these people all have these star tattoos? All these corporations, because it's a pentagram. It's the symbol of the occult, just as much as the pyramid with the all-seeing eye is. Right? You can see it right on him, clear as day, but, people just are, he's going to get his body marked. He's like, I'd really like to get a star on me. You can see he has Love is Louder tattooed on him, right? More references to love, because remember, Aleister Crowley, do without will, okay, and the law under love, right? The Antichrist coming in the name of love. I mean, why would a grown man who wrestles get this tattooed on himself? He's even got the monarch butterfly tattooed on. Why would a grown man get a butterfly tattoo on him? I mean, it's just all the same stuff day in and day out. And what does this symbol look like right here? Anyone familiar with this symbol? I'm sure you have been. You could see the screen for yourself here. This is the FBI symbol for little boy lover. Interesting, right? Now you say, well, that's jumping to conclusions. Well, I'm not jumping to any conclusions. I'm just showing you the meanings behind some of these symbols. But is it a coincidence that James Gunn, the guy who gave him the role in Guardian of the Galaxies, has all these tweets that he actually got fired for, and then I believe he got rehired? I'm not positive about that. 3 men and a baby. You can read it for yourself. I like when little boys do this to me. The Expendables was so manly, I blank, blank, blank. Yeah, this is what normal adults, right? They shouldn't be investigated. And then you get this guy, the wrestler, comes out, and he says, I'll have more to say, but for right now, all I will say is this. James Gunn is one of the most loving, caring, good-natured people I've ever met. He's gentle and kind and cares deeply for people and animals. He's made mistakes. We all have. I'm not okay with what's happening to him. So he wasn't okay that people online were calling out his tweets and exposing him because the tweets were creeping everyone out, James Alefontis style, because there's nothing funny about that. What is funny about it? Who laughs at this type of stuff? These are jokes. These are things we're supposed to give a free pass to in our society. People won't even let me talk about any event that occurs out there involving shootings or anything. I can't even bring them up. I'm not allowed to have a difference of opinion. It's offensive and hate speech. This is comedy. This is okay. Joking about little boys doing that to him. And he just so happens to have that tattoo right on his arm. Right on his arm. And was so furious that the guy was getting threatened to lose his job that he was threatening to quit. But that's all coincidental, right? Other tattoos on him. He's got more pyramids on his arm. I mean, the world of professional wrestling is filled with these people. You don't go, especially from being a wrestler, you don't go and become these mega stars. Okay, Hulk Hogan, when he was a big star, he didn't transition into an actor well. It flopped. I mean, what was he in? 3 Ninjas or something? Suburban Commando? I mean, yeah, classics in hindsight if you like to laugh at cheesy movies. But look at The Rock, John Cena, Bautista being in a James Bond movie, right? The connections. John Cena is always throwing up the 666 sign, spending all of his time at the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Not suspicious. The Rock becoming one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, right? Recently losing his father. We won't get into that. Not a coincidence. It's not. The WWE's turned into the big boys on the block as far as producing these occult figures who are like, there's something about wrestling. We look at it and we would laugh, but the teenagers and the youth out there worship these guys. They think they're like real life superheroes, and that's what they present themselves as. as superstars and superheroes, even though they don't even fight. They're actors. They go out there, they fake punch, they fake kick. I'm sure it hurts to fall on your back. I'm not saying any of that stuff's not true. But, these are people that kids are looking up to, these role models. And the WWE, instead of going, belly up, which is where it was looking like it was headed, the company's flourishing despite poor ratings, poor buy rates. And all these people just popping up in Hollywood, these occult symbols marked in their bodies, these characters that constantly are referencing Lucifer, right? Demons. The Bray Wyatt character pretty much is playing the role of a character who is alters, right? He's got one side and then he's got his demonically possessed side, right? And like I said, the screenshots I showed in my video of him with all the Illuminati symbolism, but they're mocking us, right? And that's why, Dave Bautista has it on his chest right here. That's why he's defending this guy in tweets. That's why he's got these tattoos that really have creepy meanings to him. But of course, that tattoo on his wrist, I'm supposed to believe, is just a variation of what? A tribal mark? Yeah, if I was born yesterday, I'd believe that. So here's the WWE continuing to just mock the Monday Night Messiah. I mean, this guy couldn't get an audience reaction, if you paid people to react. But they're going to continue to push him. Why? Because he pushes the occult. And he's one of them. So whatever happens, it doesn't matter. He's going to make a lot of money. He's going to be pushed in the limelight whether people want to see him or not. They're going to force him down people's throats. But, I mean, he knows in the back of his mind how bad he is. Right? I mean, when you're people aren't even reacting to you, and that's a sign in pro wrestling that you're pretty bad. They're not even cheering. They're like, ugh, boring. Pretty bad. I mean, that's what they really get, the whole thing is based off of cheering one guy, booing the other guy, and having a fictional fight. So the Monday Night Messiah, and of course Dave Bautista, the actor now with his tattoo on his chest. All a mere coincidence, folks. The WWE is not demonic. No, it's just me. I'm a hater. Give me a break. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.